What's going on, guys?
Bro, you really just stole my intro.
Alright,
No, go ahead. Do it.
I don't want to do it.
Oh, damn. That sucks. What's up, guys? My name is Adriel Rivera, and damn it. What's up, guys? My name is Adriel Rivera, and I make music in my shed. Joining me today is somebody else who also makes music in my shed. Destroyer of Worlds, Teen James Pres Washington.
Yeah, I mean, like, Drax used to have that title, but then we had to, what I'm saying?
Oh, Destroyer of Worlds?
Oh, no.
He's Drax the Destroyer.
Oh, yo, can we restart? Because I can't get that wrong on screen.
We're
way.
Keeping it in. We're keeping it in. Pres Almighty. Everybody. Pres Almighty. Today, we're going to be going over the lyrics and cover art of my latest release, 2 Steps Behind. You excited for this one?
I am excited for this one. It's a vibe.
Thank you. You were vibing to it?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, let's listen to it.
Let's give it a listen, guys.
I just think it's funny how I'm the same age as all of my peers. They take trips to Hawaii. I spend my nights calling online. One step ahead, 2 steps behind. Swear things would be different now, but I keep running circles round here. One thing about my mind is that it changes all the time. One step ahead, 2 steps behind. What can I even say? Am I just gonna let my whole life slip away? I go through these emotions day by day. No wonder there's no change. No, I don't wanna feel this way, but I'm to blame. I ain't gonna try to justify I'm 2 steps behind. I know exactly why I'm out here wasting time. To disorganize and advice comes as no surprise that I always pass life. I'm out here wasting time, and after all, there's still no point complaining about it, 'cause all the fault is mine. There's only problems in my mind. It's time to take a look inside. I wanna move, I wanna see what happens when I'm somewhere new. But soon I realize with every shot, one step ahead, 2 steps behind. What can I even say? Am I just gonna let my whole life slip away? I go through these emotions day by day. No wonder there's no change. No, I don't wanna feel this way, but I'm to blame. I ain't gonna try to justify I'm 2 steps behind. I know exactly why I'm out here wasting time. To disorganize and ill advice comes as no surprise that I always pass life. I'm out here wasting time.
Woo!
Yes, sir.
1 step ahead, 2 steps behind. Sheesh.
Wow. Let's go into it, eh?
Let's get into it for real.
Just want to say, breaking down the production with Connor was super dope.
On God.
That was a vibe, you know what I'm
Shout
saying?
out Connor.
Shout out
Conrad.
Connor. Yeah.
Conrad.
Yeah.
Shout out
Conrad.
Conrad. Yeah. We don't want to dox him again.
But yeah, you wanna get into lyrics?
Yeah. Let's get into it.
All right. 1 step ahead.
2 steps behind.
Beautiful.
Is that what you're gonna say?
That's exactly what I was gonna say. How did you guess that?
Is that all the lyrics?
Yeah.
That's okay.
And so, with that, I was trying to ask you a little bit before the pod, but you were like,
Yeah.
nah, save it for the podcast.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious as to what that means to you. Like, what are you 2 steps behind in? What are you 1 step ahead in?
Yeah. So I mean, I think I want it to be very like I want people to interpret it in their own way. But the way that I interpret it is like and I think it's easier to explain with like the other lyrics that are mentioned, but it's like one thing about my mind is that it changes all the time, 1 step ahead, 2 steps behind. So it's like a lot of times when like, and I'll preface it by saying that this song definitely is, I feel like I mean this was one that I wrote more recently. But the way that I feel specifically in terms of like lyrics, as in like is this a good representation of how I feel currently? No, I think this definitely like resonates more with somebody who I guess used to be. I don't want to say used to be as in like I've completely changed this person, you know, but like maybe like 6 months ago or so, like, you know, like I would have resonated with this a little bit more. Why did I decide to write it? Just felt like the right thing to write. And so the way that I interpret it though is like, with that one quote specifically, like I'm saying, like one thing about my mind is that it changes all the time. 1 step ahead, 2 steps behind. We've talked about this just off the podcast in general. Like one thing I feel like about myself is that like there's too many avenues or things that I'm chasing in terms of like making content on YouTube on my tutorial channel, and then making music, and then like, you know, trying to do shows and stuff, like just like juggling all these sorts of things where it's like really I should just focus on one aspect, or like starting other businesses or whatever. It's like I should definitely just focus on this one thing and try to make this one thing work before I start branching off to anything else. Because if I'm trying to do all this other stuff, sure, maybe I feel like I'm moving 1 step ahead, but in reality it's bringing me 2 steps behind. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, the whole like changing my mind a lot about certain things, like not even with like business and stuff, but just like in any aspect of, you know, my life. You know, sometimes it can feel like you're moving 1 step forward when it really is taking 2 steps back. Yeah. Because you're just not focused. You're not locked in. Yeah. You're not locked in. Yeah. Yeah. And so that's kind of how I interpret it. And like, yeah. Originally too, I don't know if you mentioned that quote at all with the lyrics that you have written down.
No.
So I want to just mention that one part where I say that whole like little phrase right there. I wanted that to be the first thing said, because that's actually, so in the first verse we have the first section where I say they take trips to Hawaii, I spend my night scrolling online, 1 step ahead, 2 steps behind. I wanted that to be the second one that I said, with the changing my, like the thing about changing my mind all the time or whatever. Yeah. I wanted that to be the first thing I said, because I felt like it resonated with me the most, and I think it like kind of lays down like what I mean by 1 step ahead, 2 steps behind. And also too with the instrumental itself, you hear like when I say 1 step ahead, 2 steps behind, like it kind of expands, you know, like you were like with like these like guitar and like the drums, and all of a sudden you just get like this big like expansion, and it comes back in. Like I think it would have been cool to do the first, like having my say one thing about my mind is that it changes all the time, and then it just the beat changes like that, because it would have like been like a play on like the instrumental stuff like that. Yeah, you know, that's another reason why it's like there too, because I think it's just cool. Yeah. But the reason why I didn't go with it is because I feel like more people would relate with like the whole like my peers doing things that I wanted to do, and I'm not doing them. So that's why I like switch them around. I feel like that one would resonate more. Like that one resonates more, but then the other one is like more of my thing, you know?
Yeah. Actually piggybacking off of that, the next thing that I had a question about was, I just think it's funny how I'm the same age as all of my peers. They take trips to Hawaii. I spend my night scrolling online. Yeah. I'm curious as to, like, do you genuinely feel like you're missing out on things, and like what are some of those things?
Not really. I mean, well, at the moment, no, I don't. I mean, I wouldn't say that I didn't before, but like, you know, I think it's more so just like being able to do things what you want when you want is more of a thing. Especially like I would definitely say like last year I definitely was like more socially oriented where I felt like I wanted more of a social aspect of my life where I wanted to hang out with friends. You know, I got to go to parties and things like that last year, which was cool. It was fun. Good experience. Didn't have any bad experiences and stuff like that. But I don't know. I don't really feel like I was missing out on much though, experiencing that stuff.
Yeah.
And so do I currently feel like that right now? No. It would be cool to be able to go to Hawaii or like not even Hawaii, but just anywhere that I want to go. But
yeah,
money's a thing, obviously. You can't just do that. And obviously I think a lot of people our age too, that's just the in general thing, money's a thing. And I think most people probably are, I don't know. I wouldn't say most people, but like at our age, I don't think it's uncommon to not be able to go do that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, for sure. But, it'd be nice. It'd be nice.
Yeah. I think it's actually interesting. I think around our age, there's, like a lot of times I feel like you go like one of two ways, and there's either like the time where you are not financially stable and you're trying to build, or you're up and financially stable and like you're living with your parents or something. It's like you really are building that like your financial like baseline for you to be able to go out, get your apartment or your house or blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the perfect time where those people would be traveling.
Yeah, exactly.
You
right.
know?
Yeah.
But then it's gonna flip. The people that are building things is eventually when they get up, then they're gonna be traveling and everything. Yeah. And so I think that's interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Next thing I got for you.
Yeah.
Am I just going to let my whole life slip away? Wow. Are you an everything happens for a reason type of person?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's how I view things. Everything happens for a reason. And I think one of the biggest reasons why I'm that kind of way is because I think I've learned a lot from my experiences, like looking back at even the more traumatic things that I've gone through. I think it's taught me to be a stronger person. And I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't for those experiences. And I like who I am today, as a thing.
Yeah.
So it's like I think one of the reasons why I believe like everything happens for a reason is because everything that has happened to me so far has resulted in some way, or another, with me being who I am. Right now.
No, I'm so with that. So with that because like so many times. Like, I'm like, dang, I wish that didn't happen this way, or this really sucked. I hated that period of my life. But it really is like that all comes together to create the present day you.
Exactly. The present day.
Whoa.
The present day Pres.
Whoa. And then what you do today is gonna snowball into who you are tomorrow.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's just constantly going.
Yeah.
So with that being said, do you not think that you have your whole life ahead of you?
No, I mean, for sure. Well, I for sure know that, like, yeah, I'm young. But then again, nobody's guaranteed tomorrow. You never know what's going to happen. And so it's like, although I am young, does not mean that, like, I'm going to live a long life.
That's true.
You don't know. You really don't know when.
Yeah.
There's people we went to high school with that passed away. They're like, when we were in middle school, it's crazy. Like, there really is no... like death does not have an end date. Like there's no guarantee.
Yeah.
So it's like I definitely know that I have so much of my life ahead of me. If I'm given that life, So it's like there's no rush, but at the same time, it's like let's say that like next week something happens, am I doing what it is that I feel like is giving me fulfillment and purpose at the moment?
Yeah.
Or like it's progressing me somewhere where I feel like I want to be. I think that's like.
Yeah. I think that we had talked about it the other day, and like I hate to be getting morbid on the podcast. But we had basically talked about like if it all ended today, like how would we feel about it?
Yeah.
And your answer seemed like very content. Like I'm doing what I set out to do with people that love me, that type of thing.
Yeah. Right.
And I appreciate that perspective.
Yeah.
I also really like the way that you said, I know what my life could look like given the like if I get the opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, but like you were saying, you don't know if you have that opportunity.
Right, exactly. And so I'm setting myself up so I could have it. I mean, I think too, like a lot of the fulfillment comes with the fact that like I'm doing so much stuff for myself in my career, that it's like I personally feel like I'm progressing as a person. You know, it's like it's not even in the aspect of like, because I post 3 pieces of content a day on 4 different social media platforms. We have this podcast. I have a song coming out every month on the 25th, you know? And so like, all this is going to help me get to like a point in the future where I can enjoy a lot of things. But I think ultimately this is teaching me how to become the person that I want to be. And at the end of the day, like you don't take your money with you when you die. You don't take any material things with you when you die. You only take your character, you know? It's like everything else in this world is left behind, but you take who you were, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like, if I think, you know, right now I'm doing as much as I want to, or not as much as I want to, but as much as I can to help me get to the character that I want to become. And that's an everlasting journey. It's never going to stop. But yeah, it's like, yeah.
I'm with that. That's really what it's about. That's really what it's about at the end of the day. It's like the career things and everything. Like, yeah, you have those goals, but like really it's it's all in the purpose of becoming, you know, the best version of yourself.
Exactly. Because you're the project.
Yeah. All right. So next there's still no point complaining about it because the fault is mine. And so when you say fault, to me, that's a negative thing.
Yeah.
And so what are some of those things? Like, what are some things that you could do differently? What are things that like you complain about that you're like, all right, I actually just need to do this thing?
Yeah. So I definitely, like I said, with these lyrics and stuff like that, definitely probably like resonates more with somebody who I used to be. Mm-hmm. You know, as of now, like I definitely like currently am like, all right, time to just buckle up and go. You know, it's like how I said, 3 pieces of content a day. I'm really trying to just like, I know I can do this, so let me push myself to do it. Mm-hmm. Because like from experience, when I did the course, when you helped me like figure out what I was gonna do for the course and stuff like that, and I set out to do that course, took 3 months, but like I was able to do it, and it's like looking at it, I was like, dang, I didn't know I was capable of that. So it's like doing 3 pieces of content a day, and then like a podcast, and then a song a month. It's like I'm really trying to like, you know, push to see how capable I am of like what I can do, because I know I can do a lot, like, and it's just admitting to myself that like I know I can do it, so like I have to do it, you know. Right. And so yeah, with that, it's like, you know, definitely I think this whole entire song is just like a reflection of what I've learned, and then to become who I want to become. Yeah. You know?
And I can totally attest to it being more relatable to like a previous version of you or whatever, a past version. Because recently it does very much feel like you are on go mode right now. Mm-hmm. You are on go mode, and you are realizing like, hey, like this, it's all on me. Yeah. And I do want to say thank you for helping me to start looking at music more like that. Yeah. Because that's helped me a ton. So thank you.
I'm glad. Just doing my best, bro.
Yeah. That's all we're all doing.
We're both still figuring it out for real.
And another line.
Yeah.
It very simple. I'm out here wasting time. Yeah. What do you be wasting time doing?
Bro, definitely like years ago, I would just lay in bed sometimes, just like, you know, like on TikTok, bro, like social media in general. Social media takes up a lot of time. Yeah. Not to say that I don't give myself downtime. Definitely on weekends, like, you know, it's very chill mode, you know. Yeah. Especially like with my girlfriend and stuff, we'll have some nice time together, quality time. You know, maybe play Magic the Gathering with Pres every once in a while. Yup. You know? Yup. But like, yeah, like, so there definitely is moments where like I'm able to, I guess, quote unquote, waste time, you know, and not feel guilty about it, because I already did the things that I said I was going to do. Yeah. You know, but definitely when you know you could be doing something else and you should be doing something else, but you don't. it's like that's when you're really wasting time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so like a lot of times, especially like back in like 2020 or whatever, or like 2019, like just getting out of high school, starting to get into music seriously, there'd be multiple days where I'm just kind of like not really doing much, and I've realized that, and I'm getting better at it.
Yeah. And like you said before, the whole being your own boss thing is like when you're at work and you don't do your job and you get like your boss tells you like, you got to do it tomorrow, blah blah blah, like whatever, you move on. But like if you don't release the song, you don't make a career out of this. Like that's how it works.
Yeah, right.
So it's like higher stakes. It's higher stakes
Exactly.
if you slack off on this job, like you can't slack off on this job.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because otherwise it's not going to be a job.
Right. Exactly. And that's another thing too. It's like when you have like a boss, they like you have to like not obey. I feel like obey is too strong of a word, but you have to like, listen to them. And like if there's deadlines for certain projects that you have to work on at your job, you need to meet those deadlines or else you get fired. You know? And so there's that pressure.
Yeah.
When you're your own boss, you don't have to put that pressure on yourself. So that's on its own difficulty to overcome.
Right.
Because it's like if there is no pressure, then you really could just do nothing. And like, like will you receive any consequences from like, yes, you will receive, there will be consequences, but it won't be like as apparent as losing a job or, getting fired or like, things like that. It's going to come in ways where it's like you won't, like we said, we won't progress in your career. You won't start making the income that you need to like make to sustain yourself, things like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's definitely a learned skill for me.
Yeah.
It was for me.
Yeah. Agreed. And I think that one of the biggest switches I've had in mindset when it comes to like downtime is not thinking about it as wasted time. And I don't know where I heard this first, but it's like recharging the battery.
Exactly.
You know?
Right.
And I just always thought, no, it's just not working, but that's not what it is. Because without that, then you're not able to work at your full capacity.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Or be inspired to work as well.
Yeah.
A lot of downtime is spent listening to music, If I'm not making music, I'm working on content. If I'm not working on content, I'm working on cover arts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Man.
Oh my God.
I have not listened to as much music as
Me
I'd like
neither.
to. Like, I just haven't been listening to as much music.
That's what I'm saying. And it's like, a lot of it comes down to like the fact that you need that downtime to be able to do it,
right,
to discover and just like, relax and, and feel inspired too is the thing. It's like, cause if you're just relaxing and discovering music on your downtime, there's no pressure to find something you like, there's no pressure to be inspired. Therefore it's easier to become inspired. Cause then you're just absorbing it as you go rather than trying to look for something to make or to find inspiration from.
Yep.
So,
yep. The last little bit I got for you when it comes to lyrics is I want to move. I want to see what happens when I'm somewhere new. And so how important is, because you haven't moved, so I'm talking like travel. How important is like being in different locations to your inspiration for music?
Oh shoot, that's cool that you mentioned that, because it's like that's not even the way that I was thinking about it with these lyrics. Because the way that I meant that is like I want to move, as in I want to progress. I want to become a better like person overall. I just want to improve my character, and I want to see what happens when I'm somewhere new. So I want to see what happens when I become that character.
Wow.
Like what changes when I become the character that I want to become.
Yeah.
So I want to move. I want to see what happens when I get somewhere new.
Oh.
So that's the way that I meant it when I wrote those lyrics. But it's cool that you said that, because yes, I do work away from home a lot of times. I'll go to Panera specifically because I'm a SIP club member. Sheesh, gets free drink every 2 hours. It's not free, I pay for it, but like it's like a subscription thing, whatever. I love going outside of like the studio to do stuff that doesn't require the studio, so like editing, things like that I could do on my laptop, so I'll bring it. Because to me it's like, well, it helps me focus because I don't get distracted as easily being here. It's really easy for me to just kind of like feel more relaxed here, and then therefore not want to do as much. I still do a lot of stuff in here, music, the podcast, obviously we get work done, But yeah, like definitely going somewhere to work though helps me a ton. And there was a moment in time, Panera's become like my spot now, but there was a moment in time where I was hopping around coffee shops trying to find the best place that I liked, you know. The reason why I think I would go back to it too, honestly, I would love to like find new locations around my local area and just kind of like explore. But the biggest reason is the money thing, bro. It's like Sip Club. I can pay a subscription membership for like going to like a coffee shop every single day is like gonna run you like minimum like $4 a day,
right.
You know. Whereas like Panera, it's like I pay like, well, I do the yearly annual thing, but I think if you do monthly, it's like $15 a month, and you just get unlimited drinks for the month. Like so, like literally every single day, you're saving money doing it that way.
Yeah.
If you're like me and need to go places, but,
right.
Like not that I need to go anywhere, but you know, I prefer it and I like that. And it's to me, it's very crucial to how I work.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, that's that.
Makes sense. That tracks.
Thank you.
Well, there we are for the lyrics, man.
And where you are, I was trying to transition somehow. I really does not. That was a terrible transition.
Happens.
If you guys want early access to my newest songs, I release a song every month on the 25th, like we mentioned many times. If you want early access to those songs before anybody else hears it, feel free to check out the link in the show notes for my early access list. Now, let's move on to the cover art. So this is the cover art of Two Steps Behind. Me laying down on the floor with a hoodie in my hair, in my face, with my feet up. I like this one.
I like this one too.
I think I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast before, but one personal kind of internal goal that I kind of made up for myself. It's a loose goal, but like it's just to make better cover arts. You know, what is better to me? What better is like anatomically accurate drawings. So like a little bit like they look a little like more closer to, you know, not human. Yes, I'm drawing myself, so obviously right. I'm a human. But like, you know, it's like I want things to look proportionally where I want them. I just want to have good looking cover arts. That's just the overall in general, just good looking cover arts.
Yeah.
You know, I have some cover arts where I'm like, I feel like I could have done these better and stuff like that. So this year I want to make sure that my cover arts are like reflect that. Like that, like just they look good, and I think this looks good.
What's your favorite so far this year?
Sheesh, that's a difficult one. This year's because let's see, we got One Like You, number 1, Out of My Mind, and this one. It's a good question. Like they're all pretty decent. I like them all. Number 1's pretty cool because it's like I'm on like a grass throne, but besides that, like and this one honestly I really like too. I like them all, like, which is a good sign. This is a good sign. That means that
likes them all.
There's none that I think are bad this year so far.
Yeah.
Let's hope we keep it up for real.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there's some from last year that I could tell you that I didn't really like that much. Gone but Not Forgotten. I would be like that one was a little bit of a rush, so I didn't care to go back and do it, but I definitely think it could have been better. For sure. I know it could have been better, but
happens, bro.
Happens.
Hey, the song's out, man. Song's out on the 25th. That's just, you know.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So, here's the Photoshop project file. Let me get these things situated. I probably should start situating stuff beforehand. All right. So, this is the reference drawing that I had, right? So, like I mentioned before, I use reference drawings a lot of times for artwork. I'll take a picture of myself, look at something on Google. This is something that I found on Google. It's this man. Who is this man? No idea. I don't know who this guy is at all. He was facing the other direction, but you can see I mirrored him, so he's facing this way. And I don't care if there's a Shutterstock logo or not because I'm not using the photo. I'm using I'm using it as a reference, right?
Yeah.
And so I took this photo, just sketched out a little bit, of like the shapes, the overarching shapes of like the character, right? The guy, because I like the pose that he was in. So I wanted to take that pose and then just draw myself in that pose.
Yeah.
So breaking it down by shapes, it's like it makes everything simpler, right? You can understand the structure of it rather than trying to retrace like all the little details. And then so with this initial, roughed out or like, shape, I have the sketch here and I scaled it up. This was like, I sketched this on top of this, but after I sketched it, I scaled it up so that I could start doing the other stuff. And you can see all the little different layers that I have on this sketch right here. I'll bring up the opacity so you can see it better. But so this was the sketch, right? I knew I wanted to have myself in there, have my arm. And I think as well, when it comes to the arm, you can see the shape of the right arm is like, pretty long. I didn't like how that looked like for my drawing. I felt like it looked too long. So I shortened it, which isn't, I guess, anatomically correct, quote unquote, but it looks better for the drawing, in my opinion.
It's aesthetically correct.
Exactly, aesthetically correct. You're right, and that's what you gotta. That's the big part, the aesthetic. All right, so this is like the rough sketch, the rough drawing. I'm wearing a hoodie, all that, but then when it comes to the folds of the shirt and stuff like that. Obviously, this hoodie, like when you wear a hoodie, depending on what kind of hoodie it is, some people wear really tight hoodies. But I like wearing loose hoodies. You'll see a lot of folds in a loose hoodie. And so I have this layer on top of it sketching out where, trying to figure out where the folds would be on this hoodie so that it looks like it's a loose fitting hoodie rather than something that's like skin tight like this, So after I have that sketch, then, we finally bring in the outline. So we start doing the line work on it. Boom. There's the line work, and you can see I changed like the mouth. Originally I had like this kind of mouth shape, but then I switched it over with this. And let me see. And then then we color block it. So here's the colors that I chose. And you can see I have like the World Radio cover art in here. Reason being is because like I'll use my other cover arts to pick colors from. So like, I have this sweater. And I tend to draw myself in outfits that I actually have in real life. I like to do that. So I actually do have a sweater like this color in real life. So, since I know that, I took that color and, reused it here. Same thing with the skin tones and all that. And then putting in the little minor details like the... here, hold up. Boop. Okay. All the minor details in the seams of the sweater and stuff like that, all the different knitting areas that would show up on your sweater.
Yeah.
And then after that, we got the shading, and that's the cover art basically. It's just like,
there it is,
layering it all over. And so you can see with the shading as well. When it comes to fabric, shading is going to help a lot in terms of making the fabric look like loose or like however you're trying to do it. I drew some of the folds here, like you can see, but with the shading, it helps to accentuate where like looser folds would be that aren't as sharp. So you can see like right here, we got some curve in the shading because, it kind of, you would assume that would be where like, fabric would fold on top of itself.
Yeah.
And the same thing like up here a little bit and on the socks as well, to outline like the toes and then like the heel, the foot, and all that. So there's the cover art. That's the cover art.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Exquisite.
Thank you.
I was about to say I don't know how he does it, but like I do because I just watched.
Yeah, I just showed you how to do it. You think you want to try it for your next one now?
Absolutely not. There's not a chance that I could get anything close to that.
Yeah, it's yeah. I say that I'm not an artist, but like me just describing the toes to you real quick and the heels, I'm starting to think like maybe I do know more than I think I do. But that's a dangerous mindset to have sometimes.
I mean, you're the most artistic person that I know.
Jeez. You heard it here, folks. He said it himself. I'm the most artistic person in the world.
I go back a little bit. That is not what I said.
Damn. I thought it was.
In the shed, though, for sure.
No,
for sure.
I'm right now in the shed.
Yeah, you're a top 2 and not 2.
Thank you. That means I'm number 1.
That's true.
I have a song called Number 1.
That's true. That's my favorite cover.
Really?
From this year is that one.
Awesome. We'll see what other ones I come up with. But yeah, so there's the cover art. If you guys like what you're hearing, feel free to rate the podcast wherever you get your podcast. I use Spotify. Do you use Spotify? Then you should rate the podcast 5 stars. And you know what else you should do? Check the time. What time is it?
It says quote something. What does that say?
Quote of the week. All right, bro. What's your quote?
It's quote season. All right. My quote comes from Tyla, who just dropped her new album. Well, at the time of recording.
Yeah.
From her song Priorities. This is the chorus. My first mistake, thinking that I could be everything. Look how spreading myself thin became my priority again.
Sheesh. That's deep.
That's deep, man.
And it kind of relates to what we were talking about today.
And that's why I used it for this.
Dang, that's a good one.
Yeah. I'm sure that we both feel that, at times like, I got to prioritize this, I got to do this, that. And then you realize, oh, well, if I'm doing all of these things,
then you can't do the main thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. Yep, exactly. Yeah.
Shout out Tyla.
I'd actually never listened to Tyla before. The only reason why I know who Tyla is because of a TikTok where this dude was saying how he was risen up Tyla. He was obviously lying, but like but that's the joke of it, is that like he's like, pretending like he has like hella riz and just risen up people. I forget what the guy's name is, but he's a funny dude. I like his videos.
Yeah, Tyla be risen up dudes for real.
She be risen up dudes?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, she got charisma. She got it.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Did she riz you up?
I mean, I'm in love. I can't lie. Like, she's great.
That's crazy.
But yeah.
Damn. My quote, because I gotta say a quote. All right, so this one comes from Alex Ramosi. I've quoted him before on the podcast. He's got some good quotes. I don't agree with all of them. I will say that. I read one earlier today, and I was like, don't really agree with that. But this one I do agree with. People to cut off. Ones who create more problems than they solve, complain more than they are grateful, talk about what they deserve more than what they've earned. Boom. And I think that's true. I think it's very true.
I hate all those people.
If you're one of those people, he hates you.
Get out of my life. If
That's
you're one of those
crazy.
People. But no, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, it is true. I feel like it's a very like, you limit yourself when you feel envious. I feel like, like and I think there's thoughts that I'm having that I want to explain, and I'm trying to like place them so that I can explain them in my head.
Yeah, I mean, when you get the chance, feel free to share with the group, because we'd love to hear you out.
I got you. So like when it comes to becoming the best version of yourself, I think the biggest thing that holds people back that I realized, at least for myself, I'll speak for myself. I won't speak for everybody, but I'll speak for myself. The biggest thing that held me back, I feel like from truly actually growing, is ego. Think like, because, and it's easy to, well, it's like, it's easy to explain. I think like ego is there to help protect you, like you have an ego because you want to protect yourself. You want to protect your image, but a lot of times, if you admit to your flaws and your faults, that's when you could truly start to grow. Because when you accept that it's just part of who you are, then you can look at it in a more objective way, and then grow from there, and actually work on the things that are holding you back. And so with that quote, where he's talking about like, people who cause problems more than they solve them, people who the other two just slipped my mind.
Complain more than they're grateful.
Yeah, exactly. And then like say what they deserve more than what they've earned.
Yes.
I think it all stems from like an ego thing. It could be like, especially if you're like looking at other people's life, envy and stuff like that, because it's like I deserve that. Well, if you take a look and look at what you've done, do you really deserve it? I know I did. I know I didn't deserve what I thought I did, and it's, do I still deserve what I think I do? I don't know. We're constantly growing.
Yep. Yeah. Trying to earn it.
We're trying to earn it. Exactly. That's what I'm doing. I'm working on improving myself so that I can earn the things that I think of in my head.
Yeah.
But I'm also not here like, oh, I deserve stuff.
Yeah.
Because honestly, yeah, I think when you become when I don't know, I feel like if you are like I deserve something, or like you're like, I feel like you don't feel any better if you get mad for saying that you deserve something, like you're like, oh, I deserve this, I work so hard. Like I don't know, I just feel like it doesn't make you feel better though.
Yeah,
it's just like
it's so much wasted energy.
Exactly.
Like you have to realize, like, take a step back and realize if you're just like spewing out stuff that is just not helping, you're wasting your time, you're wasting somebody you're talking to's time. It's like, bro, like shut up. Stop it.
Exactly.
You don't deserve anything.
You're right. On God. But yeah, so there's my quote. And you guys are awesome. The end. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Pres, the man, the myth, the legend, Pres Almighty, and me, Adriel Rivera, the first.
The original.
The original. And I make music, and he makes music in my shed.